You check on her when she's silent. You apologize even when you're not wrong. You soften your tone, slow down your ambition, put your needs second, all in the name of love. But the colder she becomes, the more affection you pour out. The less she gives, the harder you chase. You think consistency will earn commitment. You think loving harder will finally unlock her warmth. But every time you reach, she pulls away. And it's not confusion, it's calculation. She's not overwhelmed. She's in control. She's not scared. She's uninterested. And the more you give, the more you lose. Because deep down, she doesn't want a man who lives for her. She wants a man who lives for something greater, a man she has to rise to meet, not a man who sacrifices everything just to keep her close. You're not losing her because you're unlovable. You're losing her because you've made her your God, and she's punishing you for it. That's the hard truth. But this isn't the end. This is your wake-up call. This is your moment to stop begging for crumbs and start building a life so rich, so clear, so rooted that no woman, no silence can shake it. This is when you stop measuring your worth by her attention and start measuring it by your discipline, your peace, your purpose. That's Stoicism. It's not coldness, it's control. It's the ability to feel everything and still choose clarity. To face rejection and still walk in power. To love someone and still walk away when you're no longer respected. You're not here to be ignored, you're here to be undeniable. And that starts when you finally stop chasing women who run and start becoming the man they can't look away from. Today, we're diving into the real reason why women ignore you when you're deeply in love with them, even when you're doing everything right. I'm breaking down the raw, uncomfortable truths and giving you the clarity, control, and mindset to take your power back and completely transform your relationships and your life. If you're ready to watch this video till the end, comment, "I reclaim my power." Number 1. You validate her too much. You think you're doing the right thing. You think reminding her every day that she's beautiful, that she's your everything, that you're lucky to have her. You think it makes her feel special. You believe this emotional generosity earns loyalty. You believe your constant presence, attention, affection, praise, patience, softness. You think it's security. But in her world, the very things you do to keep her close make her drift. And you're confused, because everything you're taught about love is backwards. You believe the more love you show, the more she'll stay. But she's not staying, she's pulling away. And it feels like betrayal, it feels like injustice, because you're giving your all and she's giving you nothing back. Her replies are slower, her smile fades faster. She's less affectionate, more distant, more busy. And deep down, you're dying inside. But you keep going. More compliments, more time, more effort, thinking more love will fix it. It won't, because validation becomes worthless when it's constant. What is rare is respected. What is earned is remembered. But when you hand over praise without cost, she doesn't feel flattered. She feels superior. You turn her into a queen, and she starts to believe you're just another servant. She doesn't have to work for your attention. She doesn't have to earn your loyalty. It's all just there. And in the absence of effort, appreciation dies. She forgets the value of your love because you never made her reach for it. You never made her reflect. She never had to sit in silence wondering if she's enough for you because you told her daily that she's more than enough. And ironically, that's when she begins to doubt your sincerity. She starts thinking, why is he always so available? Why does he need to remind me every second that I matter? And that's when attraction starts to rot, because women don't crave constant comfort. They crave presence with strength. She wants to feel like she earned your attention. She wants to respect your focus. But when your focus is on her 24/7, she starts to feel like the sun in your sky, and it blinds her. You burn her out with overexposure, and now she's running. The texts get short. The eye contact gets weaker. She stops replying with emojis. She starts liking your messages instead of responding. You feel the shift. And instead of pulling back, you double down, and it only gets worse. But if you understood yourself, truly understood your value, you wouldn't need her validation back. You'd stop giving so much of it in the first place, because a man who validates himself doesn't need to be seen to feel worthy. He is worthy, with or without applause. That is the mindset you need. You do not praise her because she exists. You acknowledge her when she acts in ways that align with your standards. You show appreciation selectively. You show your heart, but not constantly. You become a mystery. You become a reward. That is how you reverse the dynamic. That is how she starts to lean in. Because now she doesn't feel worshipped. She feels invited. Now she doesn't feel adored without cause. She feels inspired to earn more of you. Your attention becomes rare. Your compliments become meaningful. And in that scarcity, value is reborn. She starts looking for your praise. She starts texting first. She starts chasing, because she feels like she's working for something real. And if she doesn't respond when you pull back, then she was never yours to begin with. Let her go. Because the truth is, the moment you start loving yourself more than you idolize her, you stop bleeding emotionally for women who treat you like an option. You stop pouring out love to be noticed. You stop being a giver without boundaries, and you become a man again, a man rooted in peace, not validation, a man who doesn't need to shout to be seen. You validate yourself with your actions, your health, your discipline, your goals, your self-respect. And women notice that, and the right woman, she'll rise to meet you there. Not because you begged her to stay, but because you became too powerful to ignore. And if you're tired of giving love that only gets ignored, if you're done with being the one who always gives more, who always texts first, who always waits for her to see your worth, then the Stoic relationship blueprint is for you. It's linked right now in the top comment, and once you get it, it's yours forever. This isn't just a book, it's a weapon. A guide forged from timeless Stoic principles that have helped the strongest men in history stay grounded, respected, and unshakable. In love, in life, in everything. If you've ever asked, why do I give so much and get so little? Or, how do I stop being ignored without losing who I am? This blueprint answers that, clearly and powerfully. You don't have to keep guessing. You don't have to keep hurting. The answers are here, and they'll always be yours. Number 2, you love her more than she loves you. It's a reality most men don't want to face. You sit there staring at your phone, rereading her texts, trying to find clues that she still cares. But you know it already. You care more. You're more invested. You think about her more. You plan your life around her. You're ready to go all in while she's still halfway out. And that imbalance is killing you, because you're holding the emotional weight of two people. You're texting first, every time. You're planning every date, following up, adjusting, checking in. And all the while, she's fading. Not because she doesn't like you, but because she knows you're more into her than she's into you. And for most women, that's a death sentence to attraction. The harder you try, the more you remind her that she doesn't feel the same. Every sweet message, every late-night call, every effort, it exposes the gap. She starts wondering why she doesn't feel the urge to match your energy. She starts resenting the way your love makes her feel like she's behind emotionally. And instead of feeling cherished, she feels guilty, then cold, then gone. And now you're stuck. You gave everything. You held nothing back, and she left anyway. You feel betrayed, but deep down, you ignored the signs. Because men are taught to love harder when she pulls away. But that's like pouring water into a cup with no bottom. You drain yourself, hoping she notices. She doesn't. Because women don't respect effort without edge. They don't fall in love with the man who gives the most. They fall in love with the man who gives from overflow. But when you love more than she loves you, you're not giving from strength. You're giving from need. You're trying to fill her silence with your love. And that's when she knows you're dependent. And dependence kills attraction. So how do you fix this? You stop overgiving. You stop over-caring. You start observing, not assuming. Match her energy, word for word, action for action. If she's distant, you become more focused on your goals. If she's inconsistent, you become more disciplined in your routine. You stop making her your emotional son. You let her wonder what you're doing. You let her miss you. That doesn't mean playing games. It means reclaiming balance. You love from strength, not sacrifice. You keep your edge, and you let her rise to meet your energy or walk. But either way, you're no longer breaking yourself for someone who doesn't match your fire. You begin to prioritize your mission, your legacy, your mind. You love her, yes, but you love you more. And the woman who respects that, she won't let you carry it all. She'll meet you halfway, or she'll fall behind and disappear. And that's not a loss, that's clarity. So you choose. You either keep bleeding love for women who don't bleed back, or you heal, you harden, you sharpen your vision, you step into your frame, you stop over-loving, you start over-living. That's how you take your power back. That's how you win. Not by loving more, but by becoming the man who's too focused to chase someone who doesn't choose him back. Number 3. You make her the prize. You treat her like the ultimate goal, the final destination, the trophy at the finish line of your emotional marathon, and she feels it. She feels the pressure of being your everything, and instead of being flattered, she feels repelled, because the truth is, a woman doesn't want to be your purpose. She wants to be your partner. When you make her the prize, you lose your posture. You orbit around her, always adjusting your rhythm to match her unpredictable beat, always checking in, seeking signs of approval, trying to prove your worth like you're pitching yourself to a potential investor. She becomes your center, and you become the satellite, spinning endlessly around her mood swings, her choices, her attention, her validation. And the moment she realizes that you've placed her above your purpose, above your discipline, above your future, you become replaceable in her eyes. Because what she really wants is a man on a path so clear, so strong, so real, that she feels pulled into it, not chased by him desperately trying to make her stay. She wants to feel like she's earning a place in a life that is already valuable with or without her. But you made her the main plot, not the side character, and that breaks the polarity, that flips the energy, that kills desire. You think this kind of devotion wins hearts, but it only wins disrespect because deep inside, she knows she didn't have to qualify for anything. She didn't have to rise to your standard. She didn't have to offer emotional consistency, grace, or support. She just had to show up, and you gave everything. You canceled gym sessions to see her. You skipped important deadlines to accommodate her. You made her feel like you needed her more than you needed your own mission. And no matter how romantic the movies make that look, in real life, it screams weakness. Because the man who pauses his progress for a woman sends a message. My life was never that valuable in the first place. And she reads that message loud and clear. That's when she starts questioning why she's even with you. Because you no longer look like a leader. You look like a follower dressed as a lover. And the moment a woman sees you prioritizing her over your purpose, she starts feeling like she's with someone she can manipulate, not admire. She might not say it directly. She might still smile and reply and show affection. But deep inside, she's losing respect. Because respect dies when there's no structure, when you abandon your code for connection, when you throw away your identity to hold on to hers. So what's the solution? You have to reposition her in your mind. You have to stop seeing her as the prize and start seeing her as a companion. A woman who gets the honor of joining your path, not rewriting it. You have to get your goals back in order, not just career goals, personal discipline, health, focus, legacy. You write down where you're going and you walk that path without waiting for her approval. If she walks beside you, great. If she doesn't, you keep walking. That's how a woman respects you. Not when you beg her to stay, but when you show her you'll keep moving whether she's there or not. That creates attraction. That makes her wonder what she needs to do to stay in your world. You become the prize because your life speaks louder than your words. And from that place of quiet power, you no longer chase women who feel like oxygen. You attract women who want to breathe your world in. You no longer adjust for flakiness, tolerate emotional games, or shrink your standards to be liked. You rise, and the right women rise to meet you. Because the truth is, the man who is walking his mission with clarity, grounded in action and self-respect, is the man who no longer needs to chase love. He becomes the gravitational pull, and she feels it deeply. Number 4, you're too emotionally available too soon. You pour your heart out in the first week. You talk about your past, your fears, your dreams, your childhood wounds, your plans for the next 10 years. You reveal yourself like an open book, page by page, chapter by chapter, all before she's even decided whether she wants to read the prologue. You think this level of vulnerability is connection, but to her, it feels like pressure. She hasn't invested enough to carry that emotional load. She hasn't earned that access, so she doesn't value it. Instead, she questions your judgment. She wonders, if he trusts this easily, who else has he opened up to? Why does he need me to understand him so quickly? Why does he need this validation from me already? It doesn't feel like strength. It feels like instability. And while society tells men to be more emotionally expressive, they forget to add the most important part, timing. Expression without timing is emotional recklessness. It's premature exposure. And women feel overwhelmed by it. You hand over your heart before she's earned it. And in doing so, you rob her of the natural process of falling in love, the mystery, the curiosity, the slow reveal. Attraction needs space. Desire grows in uncertainty. But you gave her the full picture on day 3. Now there's nothing left to uncover. You gave her emotional closure before she even felt emotionally open. And here's what makes it worse. You do this not because you're grounded, but because you're afraid. You're afraid that if she doesn't see the real you right away, she might leave. So you rush the connection, you force the bond. And ironically, in trying to make her feel safe, you make her feel suffocated because she hasn't chosen you yet. And you're already acting like she's your soulmate. That dynamic makes her feel trapped. And when she feels trapped, she distances, not out of malice, but out of instinct. Because a woman doesn't want to feel like your therapist, your savior, or your emotional lifeline. She wants to feel like a woman, desired, respected, chosen, not needed. And when you give her your emotional world too soon, she feels responsible for something she didn't ask for, and she starts pulling back. She replies slower, her energy drops, and you respond by opening up even more, and it only accelerates the collapse. So what do you do instead? You learn to be emotionally grounded. You express, yes, but from a place of stability. You don't hide who you are, but you don't spill it either. You reveal in layers. You share your past not to seek pity, but to offer context, and only when it's earned. You hold space for her curiosity. You let her pull information out of you, not force it upon her. You become a man who doesn't need to be understood immediately. A man who's comfortable being partially seen because he knows the rest will be discovered in time. That kind of man is rare. That kind of man is magnetic because he doesn't beg for connection. He allows it to form organically. He lets the relationship breathe. He lets the woman choose to lean in. And when she does, she feels like she's truly discovering him, not being dumped on emotionally. That's what makes it real. That's what builds depth, because the man who waits to be known is the man who's worth knowing, and the woman who earns your vulnerability will treasure it, but only if she has to earn it, and only if you're strong enough to wait. Number 5, she senses weakness, not strength. You think being kind, available, and emotionally open is enough. You think if you show her you're soft, supportive, accommodating, she'll stay, love you harder, commit deeper. But what you call love, she registers as weakness. What you believe is devotion, she experiences as uncertainty. Because when a man lacks backbone, A woman instinctively withdraws. She might not tell you directly, but she feels it. In your hesitation to say no, in the way you fold during disagreement, in your silence when something bothers you. She feels it in the way you look at her like she's your judge, waiting for her verdict to validate your worth. And the truth is, women are hypersensitive to this imbalance. She might smile, she might stay for a while, but deep down, she's drifting. She doesn't want to lead. She wants to feel led, not with aggression, but with calm clarity. She doesn't want a man who mirrors her moods. She wants a man who stabilizes the moment. And you, in your desperate attempt to be emotionally agreeable, have become a mirror, not a pillar. You bend every time she tests you. You fear conflict. You avoid tension. You think love means peace at any cost, even if it means betraying your own values. But the man who abandons himself to keep a woman is not loving. He's surrendering. And a woman might pity that, but she never respects it. And without respect, love cannot breathe. You've confused stillness with passivity. You've mistaken patience for weakness. You've lost the ability to stand your ground. And when a woman feels like she has more emotional strength than you, she disengages. Because even if she's emotional, reactive, or chaotic, deep inside, she wants to know that the man beside her cannot be shaken by the moment. She wants to feel your calm, your self-assurance, your ability to say, no, that doesn't work for me. That's not toxic. That's not controlling. That's presence. That's being grounded. And grounded men are rare, because most men are either overly emotional or completely detached. But the man she stays for, he's rooted in himself. He doesn't need her approval to validate his decision. He makes decisions from clarity, not emotion. He listens, but he doesn't beg. He communicates, but he doesn't collapse. He stays open, but he remains unmoved by drama. And that is strength. That is power. That is what draws a woman closer. Not your poems or sweet words or daily check-ins. It's your stillness in the storm, your refusal to panic, your ability to walk away if you're disrespected, not because you're angry, but because your peace costs too much to trade for emotional crumbs. And you don't get there by reading self-help books. You get there by practicing discipline, by doing what you say you'll do, by waking up early, by showing up when no one watches, by setting a code and living by it, without flinching, not indifference, but self-mastery. The ability to feel deeply and still act with reason. The power to observe chaos without becoming it. When you live this way, women feel your depth, not because you talk about your emotions endlessly, but because you carry them like a man who owns them. You're not afraid to feel, but you don't let feelings run your life. And that presence? It's magnetic. It's healing. It's the reason she leans into your energy without knowing why. She senses safety, not through your softness, but through your strength. And the moment you understand this, you stop chasing approval. You start cultivating presence. And when you enter a room, you don't need to announce your worth. She feels it before you speak. Number 6. You're trying to earn her love. You work harder for her love than you work on your own life. You think that if you prove yourself enough, through gestures, through words, through loyalty, she'll finally give you the validation you crave. You think love is earned like a promotion, handed out after enough effort. So you give, you adjust, you accommodate, you check in when she's cold, you forgive when she's distant. You hope that one day she'll see your efforts and say, he's the one. But that day never comes, because love that must be earned is never given freely. And what you're doing is not love, it's emotional submission. You're making her the gatekeeper of your worth, the judge of your identity, the reward you're trying to win by abandoning your standards. And every time she tests you, you pass it, not by standing tall, but by shrinking, by tolerating, by waiting for her to see your value. But women don't fall for the man who gives the most. They fall for the man who needs nothing from them to be whole. The moment she senses that her affection is your oxygen, She chokes you, not because she's cruel, but because she can. Because your energy gives her permission to disrespect you. You reward her inconsistency. You excuse her coldness. You justify her detachment. You become a man who trains her to love you less. Because the more effort you give without reciprocation, the more she feels like she can give you less. And soon, you're doing everything, and she's doing nothing. You're carrying the relationship, and she's carrying doubt. And you're afraid to stop. Because deep down, you don't believe love can be effortless. You believe it must be earned. But that belief is what's killing you. Love, in its highest form, is mutual. It's a dance, a rhythm, a shared investment, not a rescue mission, not a charity, not a man begging a woman to see his heart. So what do? You stop. You stop proving. You stop convincing. You stop trying to be enough for someone who's made you feel like you're not. You turn inward. You rebuild. You create a routine that honors your time. You train your body. You sharpen your skills. You create value, not to impress her, but to impress yourself. You become a man who walks into rooms with purpose. You stop giving energy where it's not matched. You hold your presence like gold. You don't chase. You don't explain. You lead. And the right woman, if she's wise, sees that energy and wants to align with it. Not because you begged her to stay, but because you became a man no one wants to lose. You stop treating love like a transaction. You treat it like an invitation, one she either accepts with equal energy or declines. Either way, your peace remains untouched. That's Stoicism. That's real power. The strength to remain unmoved by what is out of your control. The discipline to walk away from what weakens you, no matter how much you wanted it to work. And when you live like this, you don't need to earn anyone's love. You become the kind of man who creates it wherever he stands. Number 7. She's testing if you'll chase. She starts replying slower. She takes hours to text back when it used to be minutes. She tells you she's busy but doesn't say when she'll be free. Her tone becomes colder. She stops initiating. You feel it, the shift, and in your mind, it triggers panic. You begin to think you did something wrong. You replay your last few conversations, looking for mistakes, trying to analyze what changed. But the truth is, this is not confusion. This is not her being busy. This is a test. She wants to see if you'll chase. She wants to see if you'll abandon your center, your strength, your calm, just to win back her temporary attention. She wants to know if you'll beg, if you'll plead, if you'll overcorrect, overtext, over-apologize, even if you did nothing wrong. And the moment you start chasing, you lose. Not because you're showing you care, but because you're signaling that her attention is more valuable than your dignity. You become a man who is driven by her emotional breadcrumbs, a man who will do anything to avoid distance, a man who trades respect for a reply. And women know this dynamic. Whether consciously or not, they feel the power shift. You become her emotional puppet, and she pulls the strings at will. She knows that with a few cold messages, she can trigger your anxiety. With a day of distance, she can control your mood, and now you've lost your power, not because she took it, but because you gave it up. But the Stoic man doesn't chase. He doesn't respond to emotional games. He sees through the illusion. He knows that a woman who truly values him wouldn't create confusion. She'd communicate. He knows that a connection built on testing is not a connection built to last. So instead of panicking, he pauses. He pulls back. He observes. He matches energy without resentment. He doesn't play games. He plays truth. If she leans out, he doesn't reach. He waits. If she ghosts, he doesn't double text. He moves forward. Because he understands that his value isn't proven by chasing. It's proven by his refusal to betray his self-respect. And that presence, that grounded, silent power, it speaks louder than any paragraph he could ever text. And if she's truly interested, it draws her back in. Not because he chased, but because he didn't. because she feels the depth of a man who doesn't break his frame for fleeting attention. And if she never comes back, good, then she never valued you to begin with. And now you know, no confusion, no wasted time, no chasing shadows. You stand tall, you let the wrong ones go, and you hold the door wide open for the one who chooses you, without games, without tests, without fear. That's power. That's peace. Number 8. She sees no challenge. You respond instantly. You agree with everything she says. You never push back. You never assert. You never disagree. You tell her she's right. Always. You plan dates she likes. Skip places you love. Wear what she wants. Listen without opinions. And show up on time every time. On the surface, you're the perfect man. But in her heart, she's growing bored. Because there's no fire, no edge, no challenge. She knows what you'll say before you say it. She knows you'll never question her, never disagree, never stand up and say, "No, this is what I believe." And for a woman, that predictability kills attraction. Because attraction isn't rooted in comfort, it's rooted in polarity. It thrives in mystery, in leadership, in the unexpected. She wants to feel your strength, your boldness, your ability to call her out when she's out of line, not to hurt her, but to lead her. But you fear upsetting her. You think one disagreement will push her away, so you avoid it. And in avoiding it, you erase your edge. You erase the reason she was drawn to you in the first place. You become her emotional mirror, not her emotional guide. She says something outrageous. You nod. She makes a mistake. You justify it. She plays cold. You chase warmer. And every time you do, you train her to see you as a doormat, not a man. Because a man without a backbone is not safe. He's exhausting. A woman doesn't feel safe with a man who agrees with everything she says. She feels safe with a man who stands for something. A man who says, "That's not okay," and means it. A man who challenges her worldview, who holds her accountable, who isn't afraid to walk away when he's disrespected. That's the challenge she secretly wants. Not a man who makes her life easier, but a man who makes her rise. And the truth is, you can't fake this. You can't pretend to be a challenge. You must become one. You must develop your own values, your own code, your own standards, and you must live by them with or without her. That's Stoicism, not arrogance, not stubbornness, but clarity. And when you embody it, she feels it. She might resist it at first. She might test it. She might push your boundaries just to see if they're real. But if you hold steady, she'll respect you more than any sweet word you've ever said. Because you're no longer just a man who loves her. You're a man she looks up to, a man she trusts to lead, a man who doesn't bend to please her, but who lives by principle. That's not toxic. That's not controlling. That's attractive. Because real love isn't born in ease. It's born in growth. And a woman can only grow beside a man who isn't afraid to challenge her. Number 9. You made her your mission. You wake up thinking about her. You fall asleep wondering if she's happy. You rearrange your entire life around her schedule, her mood, her needs. You plan your day around her replies. You think about what she wants before you consider what you need. Your goals start slipping, your discipline fades, your focus dissolves, you stop training, you stop building, you stop becoming, you stop everything for her, and you call it love. But it's not, it's worship. And no woman wants to be worshipped, not truly, because worship puts her above you. And in doing so, it makes her feel the weight of being your purpose, a weight she never asked to carry. You gave up your mission. You gave up your edge. You gave up your identity and replaced it with her. And now she's looking at you with distance, confusion, maybe even disgust. Because the man she fell for wasn't emotionally dependent. He had fire. He had direction. He had a life. And now he has her. But he lost himself. And she feels it. And when she feels it, she pulls away. Not because she wants someone else, but because she misses who you were. She misses the man who was so focused on his life that her presence felt like a blessing, not a lifeline. And now you're bleeding love, wondering why she's cold, thinking more attention will fix it. But it won't, because when you make her your mission, you lose the attraction. You become too available, too predictable, too easy. You no longer challenge her. You no longer lead. You follow. You orbit. You wait. You hope. And she's tired, not of love, but of carrying the pressure of being your everything. So what's the fix? You realign. You reclaim your path. You rewrite your goals. You wake up early again. You get uncomfortable again. You find your fire. You chase your legacy. You move like she's not the finish line, because she's not. Your purpose is, your standard is, your growth is. And when she sees that, when she sees that you've returned to the man you were before you lost yourself in her, she either comes closer or she disappears. Either way, you win, because you no longer need her to feel whole. You've become whole again, through focus, through discipline, through mission. That's what makes you powerful. That's what makes her lean back in, if she's wise enough to recognize it. And if she's not, then you walk with calm, with strength, with the kind of peace only a man on a mission can carry. You've been taught to give, to please, to prove your worth, and all it's brought you is silence, confusion, and heartbreak from women who never had to earn what you gave so freely. But now you know better, and the men who know better move better. This is your moment to choose clarity over chaos, purpose over pain, and strength over self-sacrifice. If you're ready to stop bleeding for women who don't see your value, if you're ready to become the man they respect, chase, and never forget, then comment "Powerful Knowledge" right now and claim the Stoic Relationship Blueprint for Men. It's linked in the top comment. With it, you'll never look at relationships the same again. Like the video, subscribe, and help bring this truth to more men who are trapped in quiet pain, wasting years loving women who only see them as emotional safety nets.